Hi, Text Recap here. Today, I am going to explain Money Heist, the third season of the House of Paper Money. Watch out and take care. I don't like snake sculptures and I love to complain. Welcome is not yet today, under pressure from all parties, finally agreed to the professor's hostage replacement plan. If you want to return to a long time after being secretly imprisoned by the police for nearly 2 months, in exchange, it is by no means as agreed to have a meal with 5 police officers and away. Just when the hostage was released and slowly walked out of the bank, a familiar figure broke in at the moment when the gate of Evergrande was about to close against the flow of people. And this person, fans are already familiar with it. He's the biggest shitposter in the first season, money printing factory manager Antonio. 2 years ago, after Antonio was released by the police, he lost his job and smashed his wife. He also divorced him with children. In Antonio, with a small emphasis on killing, he successfully transformed into a radical resistance speaker and also gained a large number of brain-dead diehard fans. And what kind of disaster will his sudden visit bring to the team this time? Next, we will go on to say that this article held a grand welcome ceremony for the hot medicine. Tears broke down in an instant. He knows that every member in the daily life is already sitting on a wealth of wealth and there is no need to risk his life for him. She couldn't expect to be reunited again in this way. Hot Medicine and every member hug him from the bottom of his heart and thank everyone for everything they have done for him. However, what the sister fans don't know is that the police have quietly eaten the bug in the title. Police are doing all they can to identify what is left of what they heard. There's nothing wrong with being selfish. Guarantee let him think of another way to think of the next battle plan. Gambling Gonju learned from losing one game after another, and she decided to shift her focus to defeat themselves inside the bank building. After all, relying on the rare police force to search for this old fox is like looking for a needle in a haystack. In addition, the PhD Tatsu decided to follow the method of Professor Sabai to buy people's hearts and issued the most expensive arrest warrant in Spain. 10 million euros is enough to make the Spaniard sell his mother. The reward of 10 million euros was hyped by the media, and the Spanish people were really excited. Panic, the people who provided clues here were about to blow up. Quietly found the RV with the antenna of the workshop abandoned by the professor through the tip. This time the professor's whereabouts have been exposed. Quiet decided that the professor should be just around the corner. The settlement of this matter and the wiretapping device in the prison who told the old brother to the original content that the power will be cut off. To the police. The professor asked with concern about the sharp-angled body bar. To say he barely slept for the past 2 months and was injected with some kind of consistently high drug just as soon as he was drowsy. The day before he was released was the best he ever said. As promised, the professor was alarmed. Donate, say it, give it to you now. Just as the professor guessed, a wiretapping device was detected in the body as promised. In order to interfere with the police monitoring, the professor ordered Tokyo to bring the kind of surgery to create the kind of man who listened to the silence, and the woman listened to grow up in shame. However, Rackwell disagrees with the professor as first. He believes that people are not animals. Professor I should not arbitrarily interfere in their private secret rooms. Just when the professor and Lager were out of town for the whole game, a drone hangs overhead. I didn't expect him to forget it so quickly. Before the decree was issued, the language professor drove to the high school deep in the jungle, where no military planes were forced to stretch. At that time, the professor jumped out of the wrist first. The professor held the accelerator with an umbrella and jumped out of the car to escape. When the drone passes through the jungle and sees the car again, the inside of the car is full of you. This police is sure to search for secret orders on a massive scale. After the jump, Professor Hercules decided to hide in a tree and hide from each other. He used the headset to contact the professor and concluded that the police would definitely evacuate after the search was unsuccessful. Can't climb trees. The solicitation had no choice but to hide in a few laps of the nearby farmhouse, and the camera turned to the interior of the bank building. The bug to be refined was taken out in a small box on holiday. Next to the box, because Axane was playing the sound of snoring on a loop, the professor contacted him, but he didn't say that there was a problem on his side. Asked him to know ahead of time while callous plans. Soon the police detected that there was a big movement in the area through the expedition of Dongyi. A month later, the colonel came to the landlord and asked if it was possible to run from the ground to lose weight. Faced with the ambiguous answer from the geological experts, the colonel also had no idea in his heart. Does losing weight really mean running away? The professor took advantage of the police's staunch and fleeing illusion to mislead their judgment. When the police really think the robbers are running away, they will send most of their manpower to hunt down the robbers. and the pressure on the professor's side will be much less. The panicked Jill and brother implanted in the body has its own positioning function. When the police down to the target object is moving fast on the screen, the Admiral couldn't sit still for a month. It concentrated all the police officers to hunt down the robbers. 10 minutes later, when a group of police tracked down a bug in a sewer, but I only found a little one with a red scarf. About 7 arrogant voices up and down. However, the Dadu River went to smile complacently. He understood that the professor's trick is helpless. It is nothing more than to divert the police's attention, suggest to get out, and then go to Germany to target Nairobi. When Donpo analyzes Nairobi's personal data, he finds that he once had a child he hadn't seen for many years. It's alright, this Lager was walking in the engine room and the owner of the farm found it. The roadblock said that he would hand over Lahore to the police for $5 million to paint. La Cole smiled slightly. Now is the time to show your true skills. At that time, he used his negotiating skills for many years to start negotiating conditions with farmers. As a result, the peasant households came to the police without negotiating. Suarez asked where Professor Luck was. Anchor said that if you killed me, I wouldn't say so, so I just thought about grabbing it. The gunshots took the professor's side through the headset. The professor mistakenly thought he was dead at that moment. Instantly lost his fighting power. In fact, this is exactly on the trajectory of Dajiku. Roughly a piece of sloping one's way and applying his own body will not succeed in the professor's final physical examination. This issue. Palermo called and asked the professor what to do next. The professor mentioned has no intention of commanding the battle. It's up to mom and dad to figure it out. The sniper will hit the right spot in Nairobi. Yes. Yes. What? Second and third gear. The severely injured professor in Nairobi lost control and panicked. This side was about to break in. Facing internal and external troubles, Tokyo rushed out with a rocket car. What? Sister fans feel the principle of not hurting people. They don't do Robin Hood anymore. They have to fight for themselves. This time, the 3rd season is over. Since the 4th season of The Support will be broadcast next year, The Support will be finished at 7 o'clock. Throughout the 3rd season, the heist plan has been condensed from the previous minutes to just a few hours. This fast-paced play is very consistent, with the beautiful and deadly life creed of the plow dancing on the tip of the knife. The professor's IQ dropped several notches in this play, and most of the thin performers were unexpectedly good. The balance between cops and gangsters is a wonderful story. Husband is here to predict the plot of the 4th season. Sleep one more minute. The market, my fellow viewers, is here. Many film critics have said that this 3rd season is not as good as its predecessors. It's more like a memoir of Berlin that surpasses the prequel. In fact, Lau Guo thinks that it is reasonable to start filming in the 3rd season. The first 2 seasons of The Mail, a lone one and a harmless robber to humans and animals, were literally whitewashed by the screenwriter and became a robber who robs the rich and helps the poor. And the 3rd season directly escalates the grand rogue into a challenge to the government and the social system. In the grand scheme of things, this pattern has changed every second. The battle at the end of the 3rd season announced that it would be more difficult to film for the witness of the system should take over for the driver. After the police suffered casualties, how the team will maintain the support of the Spanish people will be a highlight. In addition, Near Nairobi cannot be completed. He boldly showed his love in Helsinki. Seeing his own children before dying in Helsinki can also be regarded as fulfilling his long-cherished wish for many years. And the arteries in the chest won't die from a gunshot, so I guess a screenwriter who rips the book by hand can make it up. Antonio's personal appearance at the end should be the foreshadowing of the 4th season. After all, he and Monica Denver still have a love-hate relationship. The 4th season predicts that Denver may be a clubhouse. After all, Antonio is too invincible. Also, don't ask me if Tokyo will take care of me. I can tell you responsibly. Don't ask me why I know. Because of the director. Continue to record the narration of the 4th season. Rackwell is supposed to see his old lover Quiet after he gets caught. Quiet is likely to give the professor the news that he didn't die at that time. If it is pulled apart and the absorption technology is excellent, it is not impossible for the security check to defect. The last point is here. I think again and again about how to escape the problem of birth. My husband is also guessing several possibilities. Let's just say that a person thinks it is the most reliable. The first 2 seasons delivered a Chernobyl plan. I don't know if everyone has any intentions. It's probably because of the division of labor with the heat. The banknotes caused the people to loot, and then the robbers took the opportunity to escape. It is very possible to take advantage of this program. Puchinder cook a skill inside. Colonel Jojo's tone will definitely give hot skills to prevent robbers. From Taobao. When the time comes, the supervision will be scattered all over the place, which will trigger the red wall of the people. Originally, this wine and 10 tons of gold were all ill-gotten gains. It is equivalent to saying that it is taken from the people and used by the people. Lao Guo has little knowledge and can only throw these bricks. I need you to listen to the preview below. Season 4 is welcome, but if there are any spoilers, please leave a message in the comments. After the waiting driver comes out, let's look back at our youth. Oops, I'm sorry for nagging the market for a few more minutes. Our den will not delay the audiences to like, comment, forward and favorite. I'm Guadaxia. I spent my time in the workplace window, wait for you.